Hello, everybody. Welcome back to WWTF. We want to find games from MikeC.
Now, for a while.
Hey, today we talk to you about respect.
Right. Recently, a couple of days ago, I did an episode. It's a brand new series that we're called Chopping It Up, where we have a panel of people coming on for a discussion. And what happened was the topic, we were playing H1Z1, and it got heated mid through the gameplay. Okay. Right? So this is basically what happened, and the only reason why I'm making this video is because when I tried to explain myself and give my rebuttal, the person that I was trying to give my rebuttal to kept cutting me off every 5 words. Okay, so this is the thing. We were playing. It was 4 of us, and we were playing some H1Z1. Okay. And about the third gameplay that we were about to get into, I had said something about the Grand Wizard. And now y'all know how I feel about this guy, right? I am not a supporter of him. He is a racist. He's everything under the sun that you can name. Well, a person that I thought that was a good friend of mine, he caught feelings about this, and he started to get on the defensive. Now, I never knew that he was a Trump supporter. Mind you, it's 3 black guys and 1 white guy in the stream, and this guy is pretty young, right? So even when I found out that he was a Trump supporter, I had developed a relationship with this guy, and I thought that by some of his comments when he was saying what he was saying, he knew how I felt about the Grand Wizard, and he still respected me enough. Well, at least I thought he respected me enough, and he didn't make any side comments. We also have a good friend of ours. I'm not going to put his name out there, but he lives an alternative lifestyle. And when I introduced both of these gentlemen together when I was on the stream one night, he didn't go after the dude because most supporters of that do not like that alternative lifestyle. So, but he's a good friend of the show, and I don't judge anybody about that. So I was like, the whole time he was going on, I kept saying, hey man, you know, you still my bro. You still my bro. You know what I'm saying? Still want you to come out to Florida with us on this big Florida trip. I kept saying everything, but the guy was not listening to what I was saying, right? I was like, bruh, you still my dog. You still my dog. You still my dog. I still got love for you. But he just kept going on, and he would not listen to me. So I let him explain himself for a good about 15 minutes, and I didn't say anything. When it was my turn to say what I had to say, he kept cutting me off every 5 minutes. And it was so, I had to delete the stream, so I can't show y'all it. If I can find it on another station that I did it on, I'll put it up. But I definitely deleted all of that. And he wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. Just kept cutting me off. And what it looked like, what it must have seemed like to him, I don't know. But it must have seemed like 3 black guys jumping on this 1 white guy. Because everybody else in the stream was like, yo, hold up. Because we let him explain himself. Everybody else in the stream other than him was not a Grand Wizard supporter. And he just would not let me get out edge work. Now, then that's when I was like, well, look, I feel you don't mess with me like that, dog. Because if you did, this is how grown men settle situations, right? I let you say what you got to say, and I just shut up. Then let me say what I got to say, give me the same respect that I gave you, and I'll hear from your point of view.
Correct.
You can change a person's mind. Well, you would never change my mind on the Grand Wizard, but other topics, you could change a person's mind as long as you listen. You could have that effect, right? You can have that effect. And treat a person the way that they treat you. Now, for instance, I'm going to jump off topic a little bit because that's what he was doing. He was like, first he was talking about the Grand Wizard, then he was talking about decreasing in population. And then when I started off, I said, well, look, the problem with black people stem from slavery. That's when he was, oh, well, you're talking about slavery and all this other stuff. Then I tried to explain to him about the incident that happened in Southeast D.C. where the cops rolled up for a tent and tent turned into, let me see your IDs. And even a guy that watches our show that's a cop said that that wasn't warranted for that cop to ask for IDs. And then he started, was like, well, what are they doing out there? What were they doing out? It doesn't matter. And then I said something about weed is legal. Then he turns out, well, they were selling weed on the block. I was like, they weren't doing that. He evidently didn't watch the video. You know what I'm saying? And for you to say these guys was doing this and doing that, it's what. But anyway, respect is a thing. Like if you are a cashier, right, and you ring somebody up and they throw their money on the table. When you pick up the money, they hold out their hand to expect you to put the money in their hand, right? You don't give that same respect back. When I was a cashier, when people would put their money on the table, I would see them put their hand out and I would plop it right back on the table. Because I'm not putting it in your hand because you disrespected me. The whole thing is treat a person how you want to be treated. It's common courtesy. And I could chalk it up to he's a young cat, he's in his 20s, and maybe he don't know. But from what I experienced with this guy, I seen a whole nother side of him. Then he said some threatening stuff that I heard, what I didn't hear, and that somebody else brought to my attention. He was like, well, I'm going to take your video and I'm going to chop it up and do all this other stuff. I'm like, wow. It's fine you can take the video, but show the whole thing. Don't chop it up and edit it. Show people the whole video. How I let you say what you had to say for 15 minutes, and every fifth word that I said, you kept cutting me off. You got treat people how you want to be treated, man. And even though he was a Grand Wizard supporter, I told you the reasons why I gave him a slide. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't racist. We had a common a common thing with gaming, a common love with that. So, you know what I'm saying? He never came off and called me any racial slurs or anything like that. He was cordial with the guy that came in as alternative lifestyle. He didn't judge him. He didn't say anything bad about him. He even asked about him, hey, is he busy? Won't he come and join the game? So I took him as like he's different than any of these racially tiki torture carrying Grand Wizard supporters. And that's something that he doesn't see. And hopefully you see this video. You can't see what I see through my eyes. You are not African American. Especially in the state that you live in. On the stop, we're treated different than what white counterparts are treated. I said, look at the open and carry laws, where you can see a white guy walking down the street with an AR, and the police pull up to him and be like, hey, buddy, and all this other stuff. But if a black guy is practicing open and carry, it's a whole mob of cops. Get out on the ground and all this other stuff. And you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So you can't see what I see because you're not trying to see what I see, and you didn't shut up long enough to let me explain myself. I gave you opportunity, 15 minutes rather, probably a little bit more, but I couldn't even get 2 minutes without you interrupting every fifth word that I said. And from this point, I wish you all the success in life, but I just choose not to deal with you because I feel like it was a trolling process. And when you made those threats about taking YouTube and monetizing and all this other stuff, you're messing with something that Mike and I build up to hopefully take care of our families one day, and you putting that into jeopardy with that comment. And plus, as a friend, I would expect you to listen. If I'm having a disagreement with you, I should listen to you. You should listen to me. And then we'll agree to disagree. And even in a chat, I was like, let's squash it. Okay, let's talk about DayZ or something like that. And I let it go. And then he just persisted and kept going on about, I don't want to hear your comments about, after I said that you're not trying to listen to me, I don't want to hear anything else that you have to say. And I would have left it alone at that point, and I would have called them up next week and like, look, Friday we doing the Chopping It Up show. You still want to come on, stuff like that. I would have handled it like that. But at this point in time, I think the dude was trolling me the whole time with his comments that he said that he made. And if you can't respect me enough to get my opinion across, that means you don't mess with me like that, man.
I agree with you totally. Okay. Well, I don't have nothing to say, so. Alright, so like always, you guys can hit us up at thagamersshow@gmail.com. That's thagamersshow with a name. Don't forget to head on the Facebook store page to follow all the prices. Don't forget to hit us up on vTime. Don't forget to subscribe. Become a Gamers Club member.
And please remember to like, subscribe, and follow all our social media networks. Join our CMOS community and our website community where you can get some free stuff.
You know it.
And we'll see you next time on WWTF.
We want the facts.
The Gamer Show.
See you next time, people watch. Thanks for tuning in.